Welcome back. It is time now for the news review right here on the AM show. And let me just let you know that this segment is always brought to you courtesy of Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, and they are offering you, if you're a man, prostate screening for free. If you're a woman, fertility screening for free. Just reach out to them at any of their branches, starting with here in Accra at Spintex opposite the Shell signboard, Kumasi, Chronomabwe here behind the Angel Educational Complex. There's Takrady Anaji State, Tema, Community 22, Techiman Hanswa, and Esiama Nzema. You want to call them on these two numbers, 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. But just the start of the newspaper review, and joining me this morning, he is Chief Executive Officer of the Consumer Protection Agency. I'm talking about none other than KK, Kofi Kapito. He joins the conversation. That's how I call him. We'll be joined by our other guest in a bit. Kofi, good morning. Good morning. You know, I've never posed this question to you, but maybe today is an opportune moment. Kofi Kapito, the Kapito, no? Is that? You
know what they say, if I tell you, I have to kill you.
Yeah. Well, I see that you don't have...
I got it when I went to secondary school from one.
Wow.
You know how nicknames, the more you fight it, the more it gets stuck? Yes, and the person who actually gave me the name is funny. The head of the cement...
the Cement Association, right?
Yeah. His brother, who is an Anglican priest. You know, you know they are very, very tall. Those family, they are very tall. So when I went to Form 1, some friends of mine would just hide somewhere and shout his name, Pololi. Then so he
Which school was this?
Apam Secondary.
Apam, okay.
So he managed to catch us, and then you see you are very stubborn. And in Capito in Italian means understand. So he said anytime he sees me and he calls me, boy Capito, then I should know he's calling me. And I hated it the most. The more I fought it, the more it got stuck. Even my mother was calling me Capito when he died, before she died.
So eventually it stuck with you, and now you've adopted it.
I don't have a choice. I think I have to make it official.
You should. I mean, you've used this long enough. But have you told the story anywhere before?
No.
So this is the first time you're telling this story. I've just been curious. Today I had to go there. Anyway, thank you for sharing that bit of history with us. We have a tradition here. We allow our guests a minute and a half maximum, to share their thoughts on something burning, a burning issue, something very important to them. What will be your issue this morning?
It will be the cement issue, where I hear the government has, or the trade minister has withdrawn the ally that he was trying to push in Parliament. As I walked in, there was a discussion among some of your crew as to why can't they regulate it. We have left that era a long time ago. We are doing deregulation market now. And it is very, very wrong for any government to ask any individual, whether being multimedia or any single businessman, to tell them the formula or how they calculate their pricing. I mean, it will be very, very wrong. So I'm glad that it is out of the window. We are not going to talk about it anymore. I actually took the minister on that.
Are you sure, though, we're not going to talk about it anymore?
Because
you've seen some bills, go and come back.
Dead on arrival. This was going to be my view. I think it was it was a populist sort of idea. The cement people are killing Ghanaians. Let's make them unpopular. Let the government come across like he likes the people of Ghana than the cement people. I made a simple suggestion that, look, if you want to bring prices down, there's nothing better than competition. Okay. And then, luckily, there's a Ghanaian-owned cement company in Ghana, Jata Cement. Why don't we rally around Jata Cement give him some of the tax incentives, give him a 10-year moratorium, something like that, so that he can pass it on to the consumer to bring competition into the market that the other cement manufacturers would follow. Because if I go to the market and I have 5 or 6 different cement bags and they all do the same job, obviously, the one that sells cheaper.
If they're all the same grade,
same grade.
If I can trust all of them, I'll go for the cheaper option.
I'll go for the cheaper option. And then the next person will know that mine is not moving, so why don't I also come to the same level?
Right.
And that is how it's done everywhere.
Okay.
But the minister, another argument that, oh, the NPA has done it. The NPA law, or what the NPA did in terms of deregulation, was a lot different. NPA said, actually, I fought Mr. Alex Mode.
Right.
When he was in charge of NPA, to deregulate fuel.
Okay.
And then his argument was, I'm talking about the Minister K.T. Amo, that they've done it. The NPA one was making sure that you don't sell it below a certain price.
Right.
So that government, taxes and levy will be able to be collected. But in terms of controlling what you sell at the pump, we don't control how much you sell fuel at the pump.
Right.
Everybody sells it in a different. Competition is what is making.
Competition is what it is. Right. Kofi, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Let's start getting into the papers now. I'll start with the Daily Guide newspaper. And as we get into the Daily Guide newspaper, Chef Smith cooks Guinness World Record certificate. That's the Daily Guide newspaper. Chef Smith cooks Guinness World Records certificate. Then AG GBA backs CJ's request. There's Naa Torshie rallies NPP for Bawumia NAPO ticket. All of that in there. And let me just add, maybe even before, and Kofi, I'll come back to you later on this when I'm done with the stories here. You do know that even according to Grader, Samuel Amegaibo, who is executive secretary of Grader, 95% plus of the components they use for making cement is imported. If that is the situation, 95% imported, whether it is the clinker, the limestone and everything, imported 95%. And you have all these taxes on them, 22% and all other kinds of taxes. How do you expect them, realistically, rationally, to lower their prices? Obviously, something will happen with the prices. Something will have to give. And then you have not just the inflation and everything. You have an exchange rate that is inhibitive as well. And so you know that definitely there are going to be some of these challenges. So it's pretty problematic. But anyway, let me get into the other stories in the Daily Guide newspaper, and then we shall actually know what they have to share. So let me start getting into the story. Now, Naa Torshie rallies NPP for Bawumia NAPO ticket. And the district assemblies common NAPO.
NAPO.
Not NAPO.
No.
Okay, NAPO. Does that also have a meaning since?
Yes. People think it's because it's called Nanapoku. That's why it's called NAPO. But the NAPO is Napoleon Bonaparte.
Oh, Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yes.
I see.
Yes, it's not. If you see him, ask him.
Ah.
Yes.
Nanapoku.
Yes.
This one too is the first time I'm hearing it.
Yes.
People feel he is Nanapoku, and that's why they call him Napo.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting one. Another one I didn't know. I'm getting a history lesson today. Nanaya Jantwa, good morning to you.
Good morning, my dear.
You say you like to be referred to as what? Former General Secretary of the CPP. Okay. All right. Well, Nanaya.
But
And her real name is a champion.
A champion.
Yes.
A champion man. I say a champion.
A champion.
A champion. Okay.
I'm happy.
We're talking about cement prices
When
and
I said
all
this,
of that.
good morning to your viewers and good morning to everybody. When I said this, I remember the way Kofi's former people came after me and insulted me.
When you say former people, what do you mean?
Which one?
Consumer.
Now he's Butterfly.
Which one?
So the former one, the former party.
His former party. But the man is here. Why are you insinuating the other?
The way they insulted me, that what I'm saying doesn't make sense.
Which one?
That what he's saying about the bill for pricing.
LI 240.
I mean, how do you... I've gone for my money to do business. The inputs that I use mostly are imported, dollar denominated.
Samuel Amegaibo of Grader says 95% imported.
Yes, imported. Oh. So now you are telling me that you are coming to regulate my price without having a meeting with me, stakeholder meeting, to sit down to see exactly what it is. I asked the question, how is he going to regulate? What is it? What has he found out? I use the same word as populist as Kofi is saying. And they said they have never heard it. You see, when Anaya Jantua speaks, it's different. The reaction is different. I said the same thing. I said, you have to tell us that I know that clinker is maybe 2 cedis, and the input price in there that you have padded is maybe 10 cedis. I know that water is this. I know that the paper you used to buy and all that. I even talked about why don't we empower the Ghanaian manufacturer, Jata Cement. They say, hey, I'm NDC, that's why I'm talking like that.
But if it were another entity, they would say, oh, it's homegrown, let's support our own.
That is what I'm saying.
That is the duplicity of politics.
That is the duplicity of politics. But this one is a businessman, irrespective of who he is. The fact that your brother is in a certain level doesn't mean you shouldn't do business. That one I disagree. Okay. You shouldn't go hungry.
So you're supportive of the fact that this bill has died a natural death?
No, but it doesn't make sense.
Do you think it will never come back?
It is a knee-jerk approach to a problem. You really need to find out what is the problem. I have my... Okay, today, if they fold up and they say, I'm going to Togo, or I'm going to Ivory Coast, where the cost of doing business is lower, what do? Then it means that you've created a worse problem where there's going to be a shortage and the prices will go higher. You should find out what can we do to deal with the situation. If, okay, you need some tax incentive, what is it? Instead of maybe giving tax incentive to non-existent one district, one factory companies,
right.
You have to look at this carefully.
Right.
And also, what is government do? What are the alternatives? Bricks, briquettes, and wood. What are the alternatives of building? Right. Low-cost housing.
You're right.
We need to...
That's something we've not really explored.
Yes.
Low-cost housing. You know, when Apiate, you see what they've done in Apiate.
Yes.
I feel it's a model that if we were thinking, you know, it's not government per se that put it up.
Yes.
Through the funds we raised, and then also I think the mining company and others, they put it up. Is that a model we could sustain and build affordable housing across the country rather than abandoned projects like Saglini and everything? But that's something else. Just to add, yesterday at the Mahama conversations at Kempinski, he made mention of some entities leaving, like ENI and then ExxonMobil and all of that. Of course, we've always had our problems. It's not restricted to this administration. Nigeria is also bleeding. But the question is, like you said, how do we regulate to ensure, regulate what we are doing to ensure that these companies don't want to up and leave? But let's quickly get into the papers and then take some reactions. So, Naa Torshie rallies NPP for Bawumia NAPO ticket. NAPO ticket.
NAPO.
The District Assembly's Common Fund Administrator and key member of the NPP, Naa Torshie Adolate, has urged the party to rally support for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Reacting to the selection of Dr. Opoku Prempeh as a running mate with partner Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to lead the NPP in the December 7 polls, Naa Torshie Adolate congratulated NAPO, as he is affectionately called, and extolled his experience, dedication, and attributes in politics spanning decades. She says, he is not just anybody, but an astute politician and a goal-getter. The flag bearer, Dr. Bawumia, is already doing great, and Dr. Opoku Prempeh will surely compliment him. There's a cartoon there that says, Bawu Napo to Bam Bam. They want to chill with the big boys.
Big boys, Bam Bam with the big boys.
Yeah, they want to chill with the big boys. The question is whether Ghanaians will allow them to have their time in the sun. Don't fall for promises of political tricksters. And the immediate past moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Very Reverend Professor Joseph Obri Ebuamante, has urged Ghanaians not to believe the lofty promises of any political confidence trickster and vote for him in the upcoming general election. He wants the electorate to look for someone who is competent and sincere, capable of delivering and steering the country's affairs. Reverend Professor Mante said this at the second annual Heritage Lecture Series hosted by the Presbyterian College of Education at Ekropong Ekrapim, where a multi-purpose office complex was named after him. I think I'll do those two for now and gauge your mood on the matter. Kofi, I'll start with you.
You know,
so the Bawumia NAPO pairing, yes, and Naa Torshie saying this is great, they'll complement each other, yes, and don't fall for promises of political tricksters.
You know, I think that advice to me, sometimes even the people who say it don't even mean it.
You mean the tricksters? Political
no, the people are advising us that we should not fall for tricksters. You know, I think sometimes they themselves, they don't even believe in it because sometimes they themselves fall for the same tricksters.
They themselves are falling.
Because some of them benefit. Okay, so to me, we should give people opportunity to earn their own income.
Okay.
Create jobs for people to have 2, 3 jobs as it pertains in other economies that you even have the time to go and listen to a politician who will come and trick you. Because you look at your job, you look at your income, and realize that, look, the man that is telling me A, B, C, or D, okay, he says I should tighten my belt. But the man does not even have a belt. So how can I take such an advice from
someone painted a picture, I've forgotten whom, but he said, you know, while they are telling us to tighten our belts, they are using suspenders.
Yeah, no, they are doing autofista.
Okay.
You know the ones that started from the jails.
You have your trouser hanging at half mast.
Yes, you know, and you ask yourself, it's too early in the morning. I don't want to use certain words on Ghanaians. That sometimes, do we really take ourselves serious? That how can you sell your life, your children's life, because somebody gives you 100 cedis? 200 cedis. Okay. And then, when he comes into power, he shows you that he knows how to drive a Land Cruiser better than you. He knows how to fly business, at least business class. Most of the time, first class than you. He doesn't go to Kolebu or Komfanoche, which you all know that is having a serious issue. But he would then go to United Kingdom or Dubai
South Africa, Dubai
somewhere.
or America.
Look, I don't hate anybody, but I want every Ghanaian to enjoy what the Speaker of the House is enjoying.
Right.
Whilst he can fly to Dubai and be treated, why can't I also go to Dubai and to be treated?
Or have similar hospitals?
No, I'm just because they don't have it, and because we don't hold them accountable for them to build those hospitals.
Right.
That's why they do that. Okay, and they say the Article 71. Right. You came to beg me for me to vote for you. Now you're telling me you're Article 71. You are special.
And I'm Article 0.
I'm Article 0. Animal farm.
Well, now the Speaker of Parliament and some members of Parliament are saying this ex-gratia thing should be scrapped. It's something that former President Mahama is also feeding into. My problem with them, they've benefited over time for so long.
It's not even that. The question is, would they scratch it?
Will they what?
Would they scrap it?
Will they?
Would they?
You don't trust them?
I don't trust them.
Right.
It's just talk.
I also have my doubts.
Because you see, we Ghanaians, because we don't push them enough. Look what happened in France.
Yeah.
Look what happened in UK.
Marine Le Pen and now here in the UK.
In the UK. I'm just saying.
People are tired.
But the Ghanaian wants somebody else to do it for them. In other jurisdictions, they do it with themselves.
Even Kenya, if you want to.
Kenya. That's home.
That's my point.
Africa.
What I'm saying is, look, you know this thing that I see the young generation, the Gen Zs or whatever. In Ghana, they don't know the meaning of or the power of these things.
Yeah.
They just use it to hear concern, insult one another. Somebody will get 2 Ghana. You see somebody who can't even buy Coco would get 2 CDs this morning and send me a text and insult me.
I mean, you can look at NSAS and others. Nigeria they will deal with you.
No, I'm just saying.
You will.
You see, but he is supporting somebody who doesn't give a hoot.
True.
About you.
True.
And then I'm telling you that the man is taking advantage of you. Instead of you hearing what I'm saying, you will send a text and insult me.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking the truth.
Or nowadays, I mean, and that is something else. When you if you want to follow social media rhetoric and you can't read between the lines, you make a lot of mistakes. When you're hosting shows like this, you have a lot of people, and I'm saying this very respectfully, but there are some people who are paid a few CDs to communicate, and they'll write any kind of tosh.
Yes, I know.
And post it with 50 megabytes
Yes.
bundle, and they'll write all kinds of.
Look,
It's where we are.
People call me all this, every time this guy comes on social media and start attacking me.
Yeah.
Kevin Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that how come I am not doing what I did some time ago? And I said, first of all, I believed in what I did some time ago.
Right.
Secondly, it was my decision.
Right.
Thirdly, unlike him, and I want him to come to Ghana and be like us, who show our faces, not to hide somewhere. I know he's going to attack me. I'm trying to lure him into a fight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he thinks he's the only one that has lived in America. For crying out loud, he's not better than me.
Okay.
Okay, and the question is, if you give anybody a camera and he's not well informed and well educated, he will behave stupidly.
Right. That
You get my
person,
point?
that person could be dangerous.
You know?
Right.
Now,
Just to wrap so that I can.
okay, you let Nana.
Nanaya, any thoughts on?
So which one are the confidence tricksters?
I mean, whichever one, briefly,
So
that you'd like to
who
refer.
said that?
It's a moderator.
Is it the same Mate we know?
No, I don't.
No, this is a different one. Moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
I thought it
Very
was
Reverend
this-
Professor Joseph Obiri Yeboah Mate.
Obiri Yeboah.
I see where you're going.
Because
No,
now
he is
that-
Mate.
this is what?
Mante.
Okay. Because I thought it's the same person who said now he's texting. He's no longer talking. So he's not the one. This is another one.
But he's saying Nyansafo no omo wahe. It means now Nyansafo no omo.
I'm saying that again.
Was it?
Now he said he's texting.
Well, let me not speak.
Confidence, yes, of course. I mean, I agree perfectly with the Reverend Minister that we shouldn't go for confidence tricksters. And when we talk about confidence tricksters, we all know who they are. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but if you promise something and you don't do it, then you take Ghanaians for granted. You take Ghanaians for a ride. I'll do ABCD for you, and when you give us that political talk, that lies. I want to be very moderate with my words. You lie to us and you make us feel as if we don't think.
When they add insult to injury,
Yes,
one of the most annoying things
they
is
add
they
insult.
smack you and then they tell you,
Yes.
but why are you crying?
They become political playboys, and they tell you sweet things. At the end of the day, they do things differently. So, I mean, it is true. I think it is time for us. I always say that 2024 is a liberation of Ghana, is Ghana's independence. So we really need to do the right thing. And as Kofi said, we should not go take pittance in exchange for damage.
Right.
Do you get me?
Right.
We should not go take pittance in exchange for poverty, in exchange for sorrow. We should vote with our conscience. We should vote with our heart.
Right.
We should vote for, the person who would help us change the situation. Because to be very honest, we are in a very dark street. We are joking with it, but Ghana is at some crossroads. We never expected this to happen. And now,
yesterday, one of my senior brothers was reminding me of the fact that, our debt to GDP is over 100%.
yes, it's now over 100%.
The last time I checked, 103.
103, yes.
Kenya is what?
68%.
And they are doing what they are
Yes,
doing. And we're
yes.
103%.
Yes.
When I say these things, it doesn't mean I want people to hit the streets and all of that. But it's about how tolerant we have been.
Yeah.
And I've said this before. There are a lot of cowards in Ghana. We like to, oh, this and that.
No,
but we are cowardly.
I don't think
We are a cowardly people.
I don't think
I
don't
think
think
yes,
I was thinking about it and I'm like, I was trying to see what it is. Is it cowardice or is it ignorance or
it's a mixture of so many things.
Is it aloofness?
Ethnocentrism. It is blind party following for all these major parties. And then it is these things we are talking about as well. Ignorance and also cowardice.
Because you see, the point is that we need to look at our constitution. Because a group like NCC should be the one in the fray, educating everybody about truth. Right now, who is in the fray? The CSOs who are supposed to have accountability forum and all these ones, they just come and present a report. They don't actually educate Ghanaians on what is going on. So apart from us sitting on TV, radio, talking, and as we even speak, we are already colored into parties. So the people don't even really, believe what you are saying. Whenever you are talking, they think that, oh, this person is talking because they want to be in power. So we really need, and I believe the media is not doing properly. The media should do better than they are doing now. They should use the platform that they have to educate Ghanaians on the situation on the ground, because I believe it is a question of Ghanaians not knowing what it is.
Right.
They are not aware. They don't even understand the ramifications. They don't understand the issues. And at the end of the day, you see the politicians blinding everybody. Those who want to be in power, we want to break the eight, making noise over things that are not necessary. Noisome nonsense and noisome nuisance and noisome pestilence. And that is what they are using to cover our eyes. So at the end of the day, we don't really have a view of what is actually happening on the ground. We don't even understand it. So what does it mean that a debt to GDP of 101, 103? How does it impact me? How does it impact the generation after me? How does it impact the youth?
Right.
We don't ask questions. We don't interrogate enough. We don't dissect enough. Bawumia and NAPO, fine. That's what they want. There's not much we can say. I make a joke that we have the Pokus as running mates. So Poku Ajima and Poku Prempe. So let's see what the two bring to the table. But for me, it is about Bawumia and John Mahama and everybody else in the fray.
Right.
I don't see why we are putting so much capital on who the running mate is.
Right.
The running mate is not the one on the ballot paper. The person on the ballot
that is the person that could become
bearer.
president.
Yes.
And we've seen that happen
yes,
before.
Yes,
The person of
yes,
President
yes.
Mahama. So it is important because per our constitution, anything could happen. And it's happened before.
We don't want anything to happen.
No, I'm not saying. But because we have experience, we also have to face reality.
For now,
the person who is the running mate could.
Is a probable president.
Exactly. So you play with that, it could be
but
a problem
for now, let's concentrate on who the leaders are.
Okay.
Because if we are not careful, I saw somebody write NAPO Bawumia ticket. I say how? It can never be NAPO Bawumia ticket.
NAPO.
Bawumia NAPO.
Okay, thank
they
you.
started saying NAPO Bawumia ticket, NAPO Bawumia ticket.
Let's make
should
trash.
make sure he doesn't overshadow Bawumia. He's my brother, yes,
but Bawumia selected him, right?
That's what I say. It's not NAPO Bawumia, it's Bawumia NAPO.
For some reason, Aka and Rawlings come to mind, but I'll leave it there.
There's a nice picture here. I'll leave it like that.
The praying one.
This picture.
The one with the anointing oil or something of this sort.
I'll leave it like that. Look.
I also asked the question that, was it taken deliberately or?
No, I think it was somewhere.
Somebody
took it.
At the makers.
One of those. He goes to the makers.
Yeah.
Was that nice gentleman? What's his name? I've forgotten his name.
But why are they putting it here?
Oh, it's been going around for a while. It's not.
Yesterday I was.
It's been going.
Sharing some thoughts with a friend.
Before he was picked, this thing I saw it sometime.
Oh, you had seen it.
So what I'm saying is,
okay.
In terms of maybe what he does work-wise, he's good, but he has a lot that he needs to work on.
Okay.
That's the advice I'll give him. I'm happy he was picked, but he has a lot that he needs to work on. That's why I showed you this picture.
You know, because he's...
Thank you very much. We have to make tracks so we can complete as many papers as possible.
Yeah, I'm interested in the policy.
Let's do AGGBA back CJ's request, and I know what you're talking. You know about those 5 that have been proposed. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice and the Ghana Bar Association have lent their support to the request by the Chief Justice for 5 more judges to be appointed to the Supreme Court. And some people have said, constitutionally...
Is it 5 to Supreme Court?
Yes. Constitutionally, this is so wrong, but others too have said, like you're hearing from the Attorney General and others, there's nothing wrong with it. Time will tell. Ritual murder hits Boli. And in what appears to be a suspected ritual murder, which has hit Boli town in the Savannah region, it follows the discovery of a dead body at St. Kizito's Primary B School in Mimpasem, Choribang electoral area, Boli, with the victim's body parts removed. The victim, who is believed to be in his mid-30s, had his head and genitals chopped off by unknown persons. The incident had created fear and panic among residents who suspect the killing could be related to rituals because of the missing body parts. I hear about 21, 22 have happened in that community, and people between 2022 and now, and people are wondering what is happening. Let me just quickly wrap with the international stories. When I'm done with this paper, I'm coming to you guys. Harris puts focus on beating Trump. So notes the local issues. I spoke about the AG and the 5 to the Supreme Court and the ritual murders in Boli. But Harris puts focus on beating Trump. Vice President Kamala Harris on Saturday put the focus on the dangers of a second Trump administration rather than the growing concerns over President Joe Biden's candidacy, as she attempted to convince black voters to once again deliver a win for the Biden-Harris ticket. Will the U.S. also go the way of France and the UK? Only time will tell. And I'll end with this. Pope Francis warns of populists and ailing democracy. And the pontiff has lamented the state of democracy around the world. I'm being very careful with this story. Democracy around the world on Sunday during a visit to the northeastern Italian city of Trieste. He says, democracy is not in good health in the world today. And that is what he said. I'll leave it there. Quick reflections, Kofi.
You know, you said the Supreme Court, the CJs, and somebody says it's unconstitutional.
Yes, I've heard some people say that. I mean, by the dictates of the Constitution, it is the president.
But the dictate also puts a limit as to how many people can be put on the Supreme Court.
9 or...
Yeah, 9 in addition. So the Chief Justice and 9 others.
Yeah, and 9 others.
So we should go on doing whatever.
I'm just making an argument here. I'm not for it, but I'm just saying that as long as the law allows precedents, and it's not just Ghana, this is what we should get in our heads. Look, it is very, very expensive to bring these Supreme Court judges on board because the Article 71.
Exactly.
Okay, but the question is...
And once you put them there, unlike the executive and the legislature where you vote for them, they are there.
They are there for life.
There's practically nothing you can do.
No, they are there for life. Not that nothing. They are there until they die. Okay, but
I mean, unless they do something egregious which will warrant...
Whatever. But what I'm saying is, look, why do you think Roe versus Wade was overturned?
Yeah.
Because Trump packed the bench.
Right.
In his favor. Conservative judges were put on for them to turn Roe versus Wade. Yeah. As we speak, there are 2 Supreme Court judges that are almost at the retirement age, and they are trying to, because they are Democrats, so that Biden will have opportunity to appoint. So I don't have a problem.
More liberal forces on.
What I'm saying is, are we going to come up with a cap and say that after this, we will not, unless somebody retires or somebody dies, then we can replace them.
Right.
But if you leave it as open as it is, believe me, somebody thinking otherwise will do what is going on.
Yeah.
And to me, it's about the law. That is what I'm looking at. Morally, whatever, your morals and my morals might not be the same.
Right.
So, but what is the law of the land saying?
Okay.
If the law allows it, then let's look at the law and make sure that we put a cap on it.
Okay.
Okay. And this Bolly Bamboy, Rich, is it
Bolly?
Yeah, Bolly, from my childhood at Krona. You know, it's funny. In Kumasi, people were even stereotyped. People with your name. You know, they say every night and then they'll come to Kumasi and they'll be Krona. Do you know what the meaning of Krona? They will take your...
the name is not... Your thorax,
your
esophagus.
Or esophagus. Yeah.
Esophagus.
Yes, okay. Yeah, I mean, if we grew up in it in Kumasi. Okay, yes. But the question that psychiatrists and psychologists are now looking at is those killings, sometimes it is too personal. The person just wants to have, have
attention,
a trophy. So we don't look into those things.
I mean, here, I don't know whether we've had serial killers or whether we are even, that is top of the mind. Because sometimes,
sometimes
you never know.
2-3 people will die. Like the woman, the Takrady killings, right?
Right, right. The Takrady girls.
Yes, yes. All those things happen. But do we really do investigation? Make sure that this is the root cause so that it doesn't become as usual. Oh,
it doesn't escalate.
We've been cursed by God.
Right. So let's make tracks. Let me quickly take your thoughts because I want to get your papers before we wind up.
Okay.
And we have about 8 minutes to go.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
Nanaya.
I asked a few questions, 1 or 2. I saw the list and I thought that the Supreme Court judges are 2. Then the rest are appeal court judges. Yes. So the whole and High Court, the whole list is about 5 people.
Right.
But in there are 2 Supreme
Court of
Court
Appeal.
judges. Yes.
No, you're saying there are Supreme Court judges already.
I think there were 2 in the list.
No, they are now being proposed.
No, the one that he
No, talking about
proposed.
the 5.
The 5, I think 2 are Supreme Court judges, then we have appeals court judges, then High Court judges. All of them are the Supreme Court judges 5. We need to look at it.
No, you mean the current Supreme Court?
No,
the list that she presented.
Right.
I think it's a segmentation of Supreme, Appeals, and High.
Oh, you are talking about
Her
where
list.
they are.
Yes,
they are
her
to
list.
go.
Yes,
okay,
her list.
I get the point.
So we have
I've not taken a full look
yes,
at that, but
I
I
think
know
we
some
have
of them
to
are
sue Supreme Court judges. So I asked 2 questions. 1, what is the workload like? She should tell us. She should let us know how bad is the workload. Number 2, there's also the probability some have retired. I know Nene Amegache, Justice Nene Amegache has retired.
Right.
I think another today, about 2, and Nene Amegache.
There are a few more.
Yes. So is she filling a position or she's adding on? Do you get me?
There's been talk about the workload, which you just mentioned.
Yes.
I think the AG and others have spoken about that. And yesterday I was sharing some thoughts with, and I don't have his permission to mention his name. He's a lawyer. But unlike the Supreme Court in the United States, which would deal with maybe 70 prominent cases, our Supreme Court is so wide in the things that it wants to do that you're having about 900 of such cases coming to it. It's dealing with about half of that, and sometimes even the ratio on some of these, the reasonings behind the decisions are a bit.
The bottom line
part of the problem.
to deal with this thing is still the Constitution.
The Constitution.
We need to really look at the Constitution and find a way to appoint these judges to make them wholly independent.
But you know what's interesting? The 2010 Constitutional Review Commission, a lot of these things that keep percolating, like coffee, that we keep talking about, guess what? They were dealt with in that.
No, but that document,
that commission's
it has been
report.
thrown out because
it's not been thrown out. There have been promises both ways, NPP and NDC to do it. But my problem is, if you have an illness and a doctor has prescribed the medicine for you and you refuse to take the medicine, what will happen?
No, Nanado said that he's not going to implement somebody's campaign promise.
Well,
that one he said, so it's thrown out. So, I mean, we need to really find out why she's asking for.
Right.
Is it a replacement? What is the workload like? She should come out and tell us how bad is it.
Let's quickly get into your papers.
But the Bolly thing, I believe there should be investigation. This morning, I heard they are beefing up police. No, you have to investigate to find out who is doing this. I don't know whether it's a serial killing, because serial killing is very specific. Right. Somebody doesn't like women, somebody doesn't like men, and they kill men, and they don't take parts away.
Right.
What they do is that they'll kill to satisfy themselves. But this one, somebody's actually taking body parts. For what reason?
As
for
a trophy.
For our context, people will define it in so many ways.
Right.
And what form of body parts are they taking? So
let's do this with the papers. We've digested some of the stories that run through these papers.
Yeah.
Let's not look at them. We can pick maybe one major issue from each paper, and then we can go. What are you picking?
I am worried about Biden.
Okay.
It's international, but there's this call for him to step down.
The Democratic Party is not accepting that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
but
he has
the
said
call,
he will continue.
But his financiers are saying that he should step down. Otherwise, they are not financing the party.
The last I read, he said he accepted that in the last debate he
said he wasn't
up to,
well.
but that moving on, it's not only one debate they have, and that moving on he'll
He's
do
bounced
better.
back.
And he's looking much better, but I don't know why. So it makes me feel that there are people who are in there who actually wanted him out, because all of a sudden some people have just jumped on wanting him to leave. But I think we should give him a chance. Yes,
Right.
but next time they should also look at the age. Biden is not a young man.
But Clinton is not. Trump is not also.
No, but Trump has managed to make
Trump is what, 70?
78.
He's 78, and Biden is
78.
81.
It's
only 3 years.
It's not 3 years. It's not only.
let me be like former President Mills, may he so rest in peace. At any ND if he has a how old are
You know?
No, but I also want to congratulate. Hey, please don't go there. I want to also congratulate the Labour Party. I mean, it was an overwhelming confidence, and it is a signal for change. And I believe that Ghana should see that as an example and do same in 2024 elections for us to take away what is not right. The English people have corrected the wrong that was against them. It is time for us to also correct the wrong. And I believe all of us should come together as one, as a nation, and make sure that we take out the rule of the oppressor. We should resist the rule of the oppressor. I believe enough is enough.
All right, thank you.
That is what our
No, you
national
see, now I'm
Kofi.
convinced Nana is going to vote for Alan. The way he's talking about it, she's going to vote for Alan. Let me.
Are you accepting? I see you nodding.
She's
Are
gonna vote
you
for
accepting
Alan.
that?
She's going to vote for Alan. You know, Afenya Makin makes a statement.
Right.
Says the rising of impunity in Ghana. And I agree with him 100%. But the question is, the majority of the people who causes impunity are his own people.
Exactly.
This is a country that an MP, driver, is arrested for doing something wrong on the road. And the MP says, do you know who I am? Man, it is funny how we make laws that the MPs, like this thing about the hotel sale. I'm not blaming Mr. Champo, Brian Champo, because the law says that he can write to the speaker and continue with his private job.
As MP.
Yes, I said it.
But he's a minister.
It doesn't matter. He's still an MP.
Matters.
No, but then, but is there any law against any minister doing their private job?
Yeah.
Where? Then listen, Nanado made a statement.
I'll look for it.
Nanado made a statement that if you want to make money, don't
be a businessman.
be a businessman.
Be an appointee.
And then don't be appointed. What is happening? There's no law against it.
No,
all I'm saying is the people who are flouting these things are the people who are in charge, like the members of parliament, who will refuse that if even he kills his wife this morning in his house, if you go to him to arrest him, he will tell you that
he's a minister.
Because he's an MP, he's going to do Ghana's business or government business. So you need to go to the speaker before the speaker will allow you to go and arrest him. This is where the impunity is. Yes, I agree with him. And it has cut across board everywhere. Now the common thing is, you know who I am. And another one is, you see, this is the only country that undercover police, national security, walks around with the walkie-talkie to let you know that I'm a special agent. Ben, I don't get it. How does the people who are under our security agencies.
We have to go.
Okay, walk around with walkie-talkie, showing off. That is impunity. It's government people, their cars, that they push you and I off the road because he's an MP. He's not talking about that. In UK, which MP can do that? In the US, which congressman can do that?
Thank you very much. Economy Times, Bank of Ghana hopeful of CD stability. No comments. That's how we're wrapping it up. But thank you very much. Our time is up. Our time is up. Thank you very much. Kofi Kapito, thank you very much for joining the conversation. And that's how we're going to wrap up the news review this morning. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic helping us bring you this segment, and they are continuing today as well. They're offering you, if you're a man, prostate screening for free, and if you're a woman, fertility screening for free. Just reach out to them at any of their branches, starting with Accra, Spintex opposite the Shell signboard, Kumasi Kronomabwe here behind the Angel Educational Complex, the Stakrade Anaji State, Tema Community 22, Tichiman Hanswa, and the Siaman Zima. You can reach them on 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. Sports is up next Tuesday.